Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, I am going to talk about the supplier. Supplier is a part of Java 8. So if you look at this, supplier is also a functional interface which came in Java 1.8 and it represents a supplier of result. There is no requirement that a new or distinct result to be returned each time supplier is invoked, right? So basically, if you look at the supplier, whatever output you want, right? Whatever output you want from supplier, you can supply that in the angle bracket. So when you are creating the function for the supplier, when you are writing the implementations of the get method, whatever object you supply in angle bracket t, that is going to be your output. Okay, that is going to be your output. So let's see that how this will work. So I have example designed. By now we are familiar with how to write functions. Even though if you have a doubt, again I will try to repeat everything. So if you look at here, these are the supplier I have created. Focus on the suppliers. Okay. What is this double, right? So this supplier is going to return double data. So this supplier is going to return the double data, and you know that supplier will not accept any input. It will just return the data based on the angle bracket. So basically, if you look at this is the static, you know that I don't want to get the object, so I have written static. This parenthesis is the blank parenthesis, which means I am not supplying anything to the supplier, but my return type is double from that supplier. So this double should be a part of my this angle bracket, right? So whatever you want to return, that should be your part in the angle bracket. If you look at here, my second supplier, I am doing that. See, 345 is the integer, right? We know that 345 is the integer, but I can do double dot value of, right? So my supplier will return double. Similarly, this is a supplier which will return float. So I can just write 345.198f. So my this supplier, when someone will call, will return float. So this is the return type from the supplier. Why I'm saying that? See, whatever you write here, this is nothing but the implementations of your get method, right? So if you want to see that, just press control, click on get, click on open implementations. When you will click on open implementations, where is the implementations? The implementations, whatever you have written, see whatever you have written here, right? Supplier, whatever you have written here, this is the implementations, right? You can see that supplier dot example one, right? So let me click on this, any of this. So if I'll click on this, see it is taking me here, which means this is the implementations of the get method. This is nothing but the functions. You have written the functions with the help of lambda expressions. Got it? So here again my supplier will produce float. Again here this supplier will produce double. So you know that math dot random, and when you into do by 1000, this supplier will give you the double data, right? You can press control, click on math. So if you go to that, math is basically it's a final class, right? And you are calling the method called random. So click on control, click on random. So you can see that it will give you one random number, okay, and you are multiplying by 1000. So what is the return type of this random? Return type is the double, right? Return type is the double. So this supplier will give you the double. Now this supplier I want integer, but I have a string. So what I can do on this string, if you look at here, if I will, so this is my string. If I'll call that length, it is going to give me integer. So my this supplier will return integer. Now you can see that there is another supplier which returns a string. So what I'm trying to do here is in this parenthesis, I have this string. I'm doing that dot to uppercase dot concat with ram. The same thing basically I can write like this also. So I can make it as a ds6, and since there is a single line, I don't need to write a return and all that, because it's a single line statement. I can write like this also. Generally we use this curly braces when we'll have multiple lines of statement and then we need output, so we can go for that, right? So this guy, this supplier will give you the string, and then if you look at here, I'm just calling all the supplier get. There is only one method called get method. When you will call get, you will get the same output what your supplier is returning. So you can see that your all output is coming here, right? So the last one, if you focus, the test is capital and then RAM is as it is. The reason being is the test you have converted to the uppercase and then you have done concatenations, right? This test 5 basically, and then other things is just length. If you look at for DS3 output, which is nothing but DS3 is this guy, right? So 1 2 3 4, fourth output, if you focus, this will be, so this is double output because math.random and you are multiplying with 1000, so this is the double output, right? Clear? So basically the supplier will give you the output what you have in the angle bracket, right? No matter what calculations you are doing, that finally it will give you the output what you have in the double angle bracket, and supplier will not accept any input. See, all parentheses are empty. I cannot go and I cannot write here, let's say A. I cannot. If I'll do that, I'll get a compile time, right? Let me look at the second example. So here, if you look at in this class example 2, you have two methods. One is static, one is non-static. You can focus on these two methods, get double 1, get double 2. So one is static and one is non-static, right? So I want to write supplier for these two methods, right? So how do you do that? So first, if you look at, I have created the object of this class, and then you know that in Java random is the class, right? See, random is the class. This random has a method called next double. So what is the type of next double? Whether which kind of method this is? Whether this is a static or non-static? This is non-static because a static keyword is not there, right? So this is non-static. If I have to call this method, okay, I can use the concept of method reference here and I can write a function. So this is my class. From this class I want to call non-static method. So on this object reference, if I write this 2 : I can call the method of non-static. That's how I can do that. So this : basically is nothing but you are writing the implementations of this get method. Okay, so in lambda expressions in the functional programming, if you want to call the method which is not static, okay, you can create the object of the class and you can write this 2 : and then method name. But if you look at one thing here is we are not passing any argument to this method, right? If you look at here, we are not passing any argument to the method. Clear? Now if you look at the second supplier, which will also return double, here I am calling through class name. I am not calling through object name. Why so? Get double 1. I am not calling through object name because this guy is the static. So when you have a static method and you want to write a function for that, okay, what you can do, you can just after class name you can just write a double : and then method name. So this method, the get double 1, will get called, right? So basically this is nothing but this is the implementations of your get method. Okay, and again here you can see that we are not supplying any argument. So in lambda expressions, that's how we can create the method reference. So this we call it as a method reference. For a static method reference, I can map with the class name. For non-static method reference, I need to map with the object name. Okay, now the third one, the get double 2, if you look at, this guy is not static, this is non-static. So I need to have the object for that. If I will go and if I'll map this through class name, I might get compile time. See, I will get compile time, not might, I will get compile time because this is non-static. So this should be always mapped by the object name. So why we have to write all these things like that, like how we have, why we have to write this method reference and all that? See, this everything, once we'll start with collections frameworks, you'll understand the usage. Now we are building all the blocks. Later we'll see that how all the blocks will communicate each other, like whatever we learned, functions, by functions, right? Then we have learned consumer, then predicate, then we also have learned about uh, like by predicate, right? By consumers and everything, whatever we have learned, right, we will use in collections framework, right? So similarly, the supplier also, whatever we are learning, will use a collections framework, right? Now if somebody will ask you how do you create a method reference to lambda expressions, you can see that if you can say that if it is a static, you can map with the class name. If it is a non-static, you'll map with the object name. And then these are all suppliers, right? These are all suppliers, and this all supplier return type is a double. If we'll call get method, or double data will get printed, right? You can see that all three is working fine. 19.78, which is this guy, and then this random is nothing but from the random class next double, which has some internal algorithm. Based on that, it will give you a random number. So similar to supplier, we have something called double supplier. Okay, so if you look at in the double supplier, concept remains same. Only what it will change is, in case of double supplier, your always output is going to be double. That's the difference. In case of supplier, the output was what we were supplying in this angle bracket. In case of supplier, so no matter what calculations you do, finally your output will be what you supply in the angle bracket. So you can see that I was able to return double, integer, float, right, a string, right? So we had this control. Now in case of double supplier, the method itself says that it will always give you return type as a double. So if you go to the implementations of double supplier, press on control and click on double supplier, see this functional interface has a method called get as double, right? And always the return type is going to be double. So no matter what calculations you do, always your return type will be double type, right? So again, this guy will not take any input. It will not take any input. You can see that there is nothing called angle bracket here, so you cannot specify the type of return, type of object also. It will be always as a get as double, and return type will be the double. So if you focus on this double supplier, whatever supplier you are seeing that here, ultimately this everything will return as a double. So double dot parse double, it will give you double. This itself is the double. This is the float, but you are mapping to the double supplier. So finally your output will be double. It will not be float, by the way. Here this guy random, math.random. So when you press control, click on random, return type of random is the double. So by default this will be double. A by B, yes, double. It will be casted to double. And then ds5, so I am doing that some operations, two variable, I am doing a multiply. So though this is the integer, but your output is going to be double. So you can see that you are multiplying to integer data, but your output will be double. Why? Because the reason is very simple. See, whatever double supplier you write, it has a method, it has only one method called get as double. Okay, so no matter what you do, finally your output is going to be double. Okay, so even when you have written this float, your output will be double. So if I have to show you, so let me take this outside here and create one reference for this call, right? If I'll place mouse over here and click on create local variable, see the output, it is a double. That's what I was saying there. Though it is a float, when you will call this method get as double, everything will get converted to the double, right? And again, this supplier, this double supplier will not accept any input. It will just give you output as a double. So if you run this program, you can see that all double data got printed here. All double data got printed here. So name itself indicate that. In the second example, whatever I have designed, See, this is again by using the method reference. So you know that in Java 8, when you want to call a method which is non-static, you need to create the object and then you can map the method by using double colon. But for the static, you can just write class name double colon and then method name, right? You can see that it has two methods which will give you double and then random class. So this random class is a method called next double. So since this guy next double is the non-static method, so I need to have the object of the random and then I can map it. But in case of this get double, this guy is the static and this guy is the non-static. So when it is a static, I can directly call by class name double colon and then non-static. So this we call it as a method reference, right? We are giving the reference of the method. And finally, what would be the type of this? The type of this is going to be a double supplier. So double supplier, you know that always you have one method called get as double and the return type will be always double. No matter what you do, your return type is going to be always double. This is the benefit of double supplier. Similar to double supplier, you have something called Boolean supplier, right? So the name itself says that when it is a Boolean supplier, no matter what you do, your output is going to be Boolean, either true or false, right? So these are all functional classes given in Java 1.8 for your convenience. Same thing you can do by other way also, but since this is a ready-made class, you should know how to use it. So in double supplier, Boolean supplier, press Ctrl, click on Boolean supplier. Again, if you go here, it has only one method called get as Boolean. Okay, and this guy, it's a functional interface. Of course, it has only one abstract method, and here your always return type is going to be Boolean, right? So that is the reason if you look at the example which I have designed, see the one is Boolean dot value of true. So though this is a string, finally you will get output as a Boolean. Here I am writing like this: if 5 greater than 51, so if it is greater than 51, you will get true or you will get a false, right? Similarly here there is another Boolean supplier. I am writing that if a string dot equals ignore case, if this string dot equals ignore case this then return true. So what, in this all three we should get true. So let me run this. Right, true, false and false. So why it is true, false and false? The reason is very simple. This should be DS2. So 5 greater than, now let me run that because the reference was not copied properly. Now we are getting that true, false and true, true, false and true. So the first one is true. This is true, yes, because we are just doing that typecasting. This is 5 greater than 51, no, of course this is false. And if test equals ignore case capital test, yes, so this is true. You can see that, right? So we have seen all three suppliers: Boolean supplier, double supplier and supplier. So click on this. When you click on this, it will take you to all the suppliers. So what are the suppliers we have? We have Boolean supplier. If you look at the suppliers, we have double suppliers, and then any other supplier we have, and then there should be just supplier. So yeah, this is a supplier. So basically if you ask me, through supplier we can handle everything. Okay, through supplier I can just get the output by passing in the angle bracket, but for your convenience they have given something called double supplier and Boolean supplier, right? You can see that there is a double supplier here, and then also you'll have Boolean supplier, right? Then you don't have something called integer supplier, float supplier and all that. No, you have see, you have a long supplier. So again, long supplier, you can take this as a assignment. This will give you the long data. No matter what you do, always you will get a long data, right? So whenever you will write the supplier, like what I have shown you for the double and Boolean for the supplier, this will give you only long. Similarly, there should be something called int supplier also. If you focus here, see, this is double. There is any other supplier, any other supplier we have long supplier, here int supplier. So you can see that the int supplier is always will give you the data in the integer. See guys, why they have given ready-made class, so that it's up to you. If you want to use the ready-made class, you can just go ahead and you can use it. By this way you will make sure that your output will be always fixed. So when you will use int supplier, always your output will be integer. When you will use double supplier, your output will be always double. When you will use boolean supplier, your output is always boolean, right? When you use long supplier, your output is always long, right? So that's how they have given, right? With this we are done with the supplier. In next video I'll start with some other concept of Java 8. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this.